This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Backwater Truck Supply, located at 100 Armor Creek Road in Nitro, West Virginia, right across from the Town and Country Supply. Contact them today at 304-610-8699 or check them out at backwatertrucksupply.westvirginia.com. Backwater Truck Supply specializes in accessoring your ride to your liking, new or old. Does your Jeep or truck need lifted or leveling kit installed? They've got you covered. New tires or minor automotive repairs? They got you covered there as well, with a full-service lift along with a wheel balancing machine. They are affiliates with some of the top brands in the automotive industry. Contact them today at 304-610-8699 or check them out at backwatertrucksupply.westvirginia.com. All right, guys, welcome to another live podcast segment here on the Limb Podcast with Nature's Voice Game Calls. We're coming to you from the Breathe Wine and Culture Company, 335 9th Street, Huntington, West Virginia, for our live podcast outdoor segment. And you hear me chomping down on a pretzel that they've supplied us with. So they've done a nice job with a little charcuterie board here and had snacks and stuff for us. So be sure to go and check out outdoor-pro-shop.com. and use podcast 10 on their website. You'll get 10% off their everything that you order there. ApparitionSense.com on the Limb is their promo code, and you'll get 20% off of their checkout code there. So if you go to Nature's Voice Game Calls, you'll get 15% off if you use podcast 15. So we appreciate everybody with their discount codes and stuff there. Right now we're going to be talking with Keith Tyler, and he was, well, I guess he's still with Whitetail Trophy TV, so they kind of taken a little step back, and he'll tell us a little bit about that. So without further ado, let's welcome Keith Tyler. How you doing, Keith?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. You been doing all right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've been busy. It was Appalachian Trophy TV. We kind of, me and Jeremy and the team, we kind of took a step back and, just living life, no pressure. We get to go hunt and fish the way we did before, and, just get to have fun trying to do it. But we've been working one of the farms really hard for the upcoming archery season. We've cleared 5 acres in the bottom, and going to be planting it really soon. I've been on the tractor for the last couple of days, and Jeremy's been on his machines the last couple of days.
Nice.
Moving dirt. It's going to be really good. It's going to be a good season.
Don't be afraid to touch that microphone there. You'll be all right.
Okay, well, I got my assistant over here.
Got him.
You're leaving. Oh, okay. I was
Technical
like,
pause.
who's going to close up?
Closing up, you're good.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Thank you for everything.
I'll message you.
Okay. Well, the store owner is leaving, so I thought, I don't have a key.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah, right?
I was just trying to figure out how we get more of the charcuterie board.
Oh, man. Yeah, so we were talking about that through message. You're telling me all that stuff you're doing, so.
Yeah. We also have some announcements coming up with working with Greens Feed and Seed. They're going to allow us to do some advertising for Keller Williams Land Advantage, which is a little company that Jeremy's working for, and I'm his assistant. They're going to be putting their own seeds together,
Okay.
in their own bags, marketing that. They already have some some feed put together that they're selling in the greens bag.
Okay.
And they're also going to be doing minerals.
Yeah.
So they're going to do, try to get more revenue and stuff into their shops and stuff. So
Well, good.
We're kind of like, we're helping them, they're helping us.
So you've kind of changed roles in your career, so tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. I was with a company for, 15 years or so, and some things changed, and corporation took over, and, we kind of parted ways. And, me and Jeremy's been friends for almost 20 years, and, we do a lot together. So, I'm his assistant right now, and I'm working on getting my realtor license as well. So
Okay, nice.
him and I can tag team land throughout the state. He's no longer set to counties, so we can sell all over West Virginia.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's gonna be really big. We can make our own team.
Yeah.
Many as we want. So Keller Williams is a really good company, one of the top realtor companies, and we are selling land for them now. So
Good deal.
it's gonna work out great.
So that's a different industry for you, but you've always sold stuff, so
Yes.
it's not going to be really that big.
No,
difference.
yeah, I've always communicated and talked, and to customers, and,
Yeah.
and I can get on their level, and I can read somebody really, really easy, really quick, and I think we're gonna do good. Hit some home runs.
Dave's over here laughing. What are you doing? Think about Dan?
Never
admit to thinking about that.
Never.
Notice he said. Notice he didn't say that. He didn't do it.
Yeah.
He just wouldn't admit to it.
Wouldn't admit to it. That's exactly right. Yeah. That's a good catch, Cole. So, what do you do to get ready for upcoming season, other than what you've done so far?
Well, that's the main thing is we start trail cams. We run them year round. Get to see what the deer are doing different times of the year. And I can tell you the last couple of weeks they haven't done much because it's been so hot. But these last couple of days they've moved around a lot. We have a lot of fawns. So far, so good.
Oh man, I tell you, I've seen a ton of fawns.
Yeah.
But I'm also like back when we was talking to Gerald and them, I was talking about them bachelor groups of bucks. I've seen a lot of bucks that's been together, and they're obviously still in velvet, but
Yeah.
I mean they just congregate and seem like they hang out and just chill out wherever they want to until they find a lady that they want, and then they start to wander off and they start to split up. So I think it's kind of cool how nature does its own little thing there.
Oh yeah.
But all them fawns, man, I mean, I've seen a ton of them.
Yeah,
I've seen two with the same mama. I mean, I really didn't know. I know that they have two. They can have two at one time, but I'm like, man, do they really have multiple sets in a year? So that was eye-opening to me, that how many you see.
Yeah, a big thing is, a lot of people, you can stress it is food plots. Those, a good food plot that comes back year after year, it really helps. It really helps deer herd. I mean, it does take a little bit of work, a little bit of money, but you have a clover or a really good plot that comes back and stays there. You can tell the difference in the herd and how much they use food plots.
What'd you do, mute me? I couldn't hear myself there for a second. Gosh. I'm telling you.
He got hungry.
You're cut off. You're not allowed to have any more water.
That's what he's been drinking. I'll have some of that, please. No, Keith, I think that's a really good point, what you were saying. Like, obviously, like, whitetails are getting nutritional value from their food plots, but, like, for your deer herd, like, just making sure that they always have a sustainable food source.
Yep.
I mean, the oak gets eat up, or, maybe it doesn't hit good that year.
Yep.
And that changes a big force in a pattern. So I definitely see what you're saying. Like, food plots, like, we're spot
Yeah,
on
it's
with that.
something that's got to be done. I mean, some years, like you're saying, you might not have the same mass that you do in years prior, and I've seen a lot of that changing more now than it used to for some reason. I don't know. I mean, it didn't used to really be that way.
Global warming.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's the thing is the fawns come out and they have a good start.
Yeah.
I mean, they hit the food plots and the mineral sites that you put out, and from then on, year after year after year, each fawn comes out, they get a jump start on nutritional growth.
So you still fishing tournaments?
Now I haven't fished a tournament for probably about 2 years now.
Really?
Yeah,
Man, you was hot and heavy into the tournament fishing.
I was, and my youngest boy is 8, and we live pretty close to a lake.
Yeah.
So I do fish with him, but he fishes more than I do now.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching him fish, watching him catch them.
Me and Jamie Ferguson was just talking about that, man. It's once you get to a certain age, I mean, obviously we're not going to stop hunting and fishing, but we don't have to do it as much.
Right.
It's nice to see your kids do it and be a part of that, knowing that you've raised them up in that.
And now if it's raining, I don't want to go. I don't go.
Yeah, man, I can't stand hunting in the rain.
Yeah.
I never did like that, but my brother, man, he loved hunting anytime. It didn't matter when it was. And he'd hunt in the rain. He'd hunt. And,
Good fish in the rain.
yeah, well, That's why you don't have a mic right now. But anyways. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Caleb, let's get to you. Keith, we thank you, brother. Thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of it.
I'm glad I got to
And it was good seeing you, man.
Yeah, a lot of never knew these places, and now I know of 2 of the locations. So
Yeah, you know both of them now.
I know where to get my craft beer from now.
Yeah, you do. That's for sure.
I also know who my new tournament partner is going to be on Friday nights on the Kanawha River.
There you go.
There we go.
Call him up. Call him up.
Call Keith up, be like, hey, I'm trying to win some money.
Uh-huh.
I got you.
Get him out of retirement.
There we go. Time to stretch your legs, big dog.
Yep.
Show me
Hey,
how
let me tell you what. Me and Caleb went out last night bow fishing. And I got on this boat, and I'm thinking it's nighttime. This is a bullet. I'm on a bullet boat, right? And I've probably been 40, 45 mile an hour. That's as fast as I've been on a nitro on the Bluestone Lake with my uncle. And my face was like, my cheeks were going like this, and my eyeballs and tears just running back into my hair. And we started taking off, and this thing takes off like straight up and down. I thought we were going to set up, like vertical. And I'm like, good God, is this thing going to flatten out? So it flattened out, and we kept going, and I was like, oh, God, here we go. We're going faster. We're going faster. We get up to like 56 miles an hour.
I'm not trimmed up.
And when I go, when we get to this fishing spot where we're going to bow fish, I had to sit there for a minute. I'm like, I think I'm going to have a heart attack. My neck started hurting, my arms was hurting, my chest was hurting. I was like, I got to calm down. It was like, that got me all messed up.
It's pitch black, and I'm just looking at the
Pitch
screen.
black, and
I'm
he's
just
like
looking at
this.
the screen.
He's like this. He's like driving. And I'm like, does that screen show you other boats in front of us?
I'm like, nope.
And he's like, nope. And I was like, well, that did not increase my level of confidence. But we had a good time doing it.
Oh, yeah, it was a great time. Great time.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about that. So this is my first time bow fishing. Dan's been wanting to do it. And I thought, Caleb calls up. Rachel just got back from church camp. And I was like, well, I don't know if I'll be able to do it tonight. She just got back. And he's like, man, we got to go bow fishing. And she's like, yeah, honey, go ahead. She was like, it's fine. I'll wait up on you. And I'm like, okay, I'm going because I want to bow fish.
Yeah.
It's the first time doing it. And I didn't really know nothing about it. And Caleb's like, I'm just like asking about the setup and stuff like this. He's like, man, you can do it with any bow. So we had a kid's bow, that I guess nobody was using in the family.
Yeah.
And he just turned it into a bow fishing bow. So we get out there, and he's like, I'm going to show you how to do it. And by God, he did. The first one that come up, I'm shining the light on, and he smacks that thing. And here I am thinking, because he never told me that he'd done it a lot. And I'm like, God, that must be easy. No, it's not easy.
15 fish later.
Yes.
Yeah. So go ahead and tell us about that.
so I shot that one, and it set up perfect. It was super shallow, and just seen the light and started kind of coming like they want to go deep to the underneath the boat, and I got it before it got too deep. I just aimed low enough because the reflection of the water or whatnot, and I hit it, and he was like, "Man, you got it," and I was like, "Well, yeah," and he said, all right. And, I finished dispatching the fish, want to be humane about it. We go around through there. And I'm like, all right, Mike, I showed you, kind of how the arrow needs to go in the bow. Make sure you don't want to mess nothing up.
Yeah, I did that perfect.
Yeah.
I got that part down.
I was like, you should be good. I said, you want to aim low. I said, if they're super shallow, like their back's out of the water, then, yeah, you can aim, middle body of the fish. But outside of that, whatever you would, think aiming low is, and then aim 6 inches below that. And then, that's a good starting point.
Have you bow fished, Keith?
Yes, I have. Yeah, we used
Okay.
to go Cold River and do it. Yeah,
How many did you miss before you killed one?
I don't know, probably 15.
Okay.
no, about 14, I think. 15th one I killed.
Okay. Well, I'm on the brink of killing here.
success right now.
Yeah, the brink of success. So the next time we go, savage.
Savage. Stacking bodies.
Stacking carp.
so we go around through there. I shine a light. There's one. Thunk. Crap.
Well,
Just,
choice words.
Yeah, choice words. Yeah, choice words. That wasn't necessarily what he said, but to that same reference, And we go around through there, find another one. Thunk, crap.
And I'm getting closer and closer every time.
Yeah, I'm like just over him. Oh, that was way over him. Just barely over him.
Yeah.
And he's just like, dude, this is way harder than what it looks.
Yeah. I mean, I've shot a recurve instinctively.
Yeah.
And it's a lot different than that, in my opinion, because you're judging the depth of the fish,
Where the fish is moving.
where the fish is
boat's
moving. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And, we were shooting at pencils, basically. We were shooting at gar, too.
Yeah, something like that. Kind of hard to hit them.
It's very hard to hit those. I mean, you're just going to get lucky with those.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah, it's challenging.
Yeah, it's a good time, though.
But we had a great time,
Yeah.
except for the almost having a heart attack in the beginning. And I got a lot more used to it going back. We actually went faster going back than we did going up, so I was okay with it then. But
We were going back up to the boat ramp, and I kind of just started veering like kind of way right of the river. I seen the lights on a barge, and there's like one red light, one green light. That's all, And he's just like, we're halfway past the barge, and he's like, "Is that a barge?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yes, it is." And he said, "Those things need more lights, brother."
yes, they do. I'm telling you, if I was going 56 on a boat, I probably would have ended up in that barge. Because I did not see it until we got right up on it. So
we're like halfway past it, and he just looks over. It's like, "Is that a barge?" We're 30 yards from it, wide open. But no, it was a good time.
Yeah.
So, and then we missed a couple more right before we got back to the boat ramp. At one, you nicked. I swear.
I swear I thought I had that one, man. I mean, it was just like, it had something funny. God, it's kind of funny how you find that button now and you couldn't find it earlier. God. Anyways, yeah, he's got my mark on him. I left it there. I wanted to leave him for everybody else to play with. All right, Caleb. So tell us a little bit about what we've been talking here about a little idea that you had.
Yep.
And you wanted to call it Whitetail Weekly. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about what you have in mind for that.
So I've kind of got bitten here recently with the whitetail bug pretty hard. I think every
We talked about this at your house the other night during the cookout.
Yeah, every I feel like every like diehard bow hunter, like middle of July, they're just like contemplating their lives, and they're like, "Wait, I'm only 2 months from bow season."
Well, your boss there was saying that you wasn't going to hunt this much during deer season.
Yeah, I told myself that.
Yeah, he told himself that, and his boss is like, I'm not going to hunt too much this year bow season. And the very next week, he's like, "Oh my God, I got to get cameras out." He's like, "Bow season's almost here."
Yeah, I'm kind of bad about that. I told myself, I was like, I'm going to save all my vacation time to turkey hunt.
Yeah,
So I want to go to Washington. I have to go to Florida for 2 weeks because we all know I've got a vendetta to settle down.
You're definitely going back to Washington.
Yeah.
Skylar said so.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I took her once and I messed up because now she's like, I'm going too. So just doubled my cost on that trip. But that's okay. I would much rather her go down there with me than me go by myself. So
Yeah. Or you go with somebody like Dan.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I would love Dan should go. All of
Yeah.
us should go. That'd be fun. Have just a whole turkey camp.
We're going to Wyoming next year.
Oh, okay, I've never hunted Wyoming, but I can guarantee it's good. It ain't gonna be bad.
We're going to try to take down some Miriams next year.
Oh, well, they're dumb.
Yeah.
They're dumb compared to if you kill an eastern, you'll roll up every Merriam's on the
That's
block.
what I've heard.
I'm
But
telling you. But yeah, so with all of that in mind, like I come home from turkey season and was thinking like, hey, I'm gonna save my vacation. Like I might bow hunt like the key weekends, maybe burn like a day or two, but not take anything too serious. But then I went to Ohio and I pulled all my cameras that I'd left out, and I found out that all of my shooter bucks made it through last season except for the one that I killed.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, man. And it's on public. And I was like, oh, man. So that changed pretty abruptly, and that kind of got my gears into thinking, like, man, like, this one might be 160 this year. You know, this one, like, definitely should be 160 this year. So, needless to say, the bug bit me once again, and, you know, I called Mike and was like, hey, man, like, you know, with the podcast, like, what if we done, like a Whitetail Weekly, right? Like, help guys get ready for deer season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, and like that can be anything from like, you know, where to set your trail cameras, or, you know, like whether you're hunting public, you know, or you're hunting private. You know, if you're hunting public, like a lot of people don't know this and they don't realize this or utilize it, but like deer work in scrapes year round.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you find a good licking branch on a community scrape, that is gold.
Mm-hmm.
That's gold. And a great place to take inventory on public land. Whereas on private, if I have my option, I'm dropping minerals. You know, kind of like what we talked about earlier. Helps give those deer a little bit of a jump start, and every deer in that vicinity is going to hit that mineral site typically. So, you know, anywhere from hanging trail cameras, you know, to going in, finding the bedding areas early, you know, because it doesn't matter if you blow them out in July. You don't want to be blowing them out in October.
Yeah.
You know, so kind of going into some of the tactics for setups, you know, looking at maps and things of that nature. So that's something, you know, me and you talked about that we're going to implement, you know, whether it's, you know, live from the woods or whatever, or, you know, maybe it's on a computer at the house, you know, things that you can do to get ready for deer season.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea. So what this will be kind of like bonus segments that we'll be putting out, you know, with our weekly episodes. And they'll run anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes long. So it'll give new hunters, or, you know, even people that's not been in it a while or a long time, some tips and tricks and different things to get prepared, or even just an update during the season. So what we planned on doing, we done it last year with, it was this year, Spring Gobbler. So we done a Spring Gobbler update all around the state. So we had different callers call in and give an update on Spring Gobbler season. So I think that worked out really well.
Yeah.
We covered the whole state, you know, from northern part, southern part, eastern, western part of the state. So that gives everybody an update on what's going on in their area, how birds are reacting, different things like that. So I think that was good. So we're going to do that again during deer season too. So that'll be a good thing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's, you know, the idea about it, to like get people ready, and then, you know, break down kind of, you know, as the season progresses, like, you know, if we can get it out a week ahead of time, so that way people have a little bit of time to react, you know, a week or 2 weeks ahead of time, like, hey, you know, into October, like, you better be hunting scrape lines.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, you bet, like, scrapes are popping up everywhere. You need to be paying attention to scrape lines. You need to move your cameras associated, you know, that are kind of dead. You need to move those to, you know, and go and find some of these active scrapes that bucks are kicking out.
Yeah, for
bucks
sure.
are using and prepping, you know, above doe bedding areas or whatever in the fall, and just kind of give everyone like a heads up, like this is coming, and that way they can implement it during the season.
No, I think it's going to be great, and that's a great idea that you've thought of there. So we're going to implement that here soon for archery season. But Caleb, we sure appreciate you coming this evening, being a part of it. We thank you for your support over the years. You know,
Thank you for having
always supporting Nature's Voice game calls and using our products and laying down the birds.
me. Yes, sir. That's the plan. Don't
Yep.
plan to stop anytime soon.
I hear you, brother. Keith, we thank you. Appreciate you coming out and being a part of it.
Oh, yes, thank you for coming.
It's always been a pleasure working with you as well. We've been working with you guys for a long time now, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So, all right, guys. Well, be sure to check us out on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. We'd like to thank Cabela's in 200 Cross Terrace Boulevard, Charleston, West Virginia, for all their donations that they made for our packages for our guests. And we'd like to thank the Breathe Wine and Culture Company here in Huntington for having us in and doing this live podcast and allowing us to be a part of their sampling. We'd also like to thank Country Boy Brewing Company for their samplings for the ciders and, you know, things like that, and all the little trinket gifts that they gave us, koozies and stuff. Josh was great to have on. That's the first time we'd ever met Josh. Devin had told us about him, and, you know, he's a good guy. Hopefully we get him back in the woods.
Yeah.
He's talking about, you know, liking fishing and stuff like that. Still does a little bit of it, but, you know, that's the big thing these days. People don't have the time, so just take a little bit of time and get back in the outdoors.
Yeah.
So,
We'll have to take him bow fishing with us.
yeah, man, that'd be awesome.
He'll kill one on the first shot.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate everybody. Oh, man, you really had to do that, didn't you? Gosh. All right. Well, thanks for everybody listening, and Caleb will never be on the podcast again. So,
Till next week.
No, I'm just kidding.
The Whitetail Weekly.
all right, guys. So be sure to visit outdoor-pro-shop.com. Use podcast 10 for 10% off of your total order there. ApparitionSense.com on the limb for 20% off, and Nature's Voice Game Calls podcast 15 for 15% off there. So we appreciate everybody listening. Thanks for all the guests that came out this evening. This is our last segment here at the Breathe Wine and Culture Company in Huntington, West Virginia. You all have a good evening. This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Outdoor Pro Shop, LLC. Outdoor Pro Shop is a family-owned and operated firearms dealer and sporting goods retailer. They have pay-over-time options, a rewards program, and customer service satisfaction that is unmatched. They might not be the biggest, but they strive to be the best. Contact them today at 240-360-1298 or visit them on the web at www.outdoor-pro-shop.com. That's Outdoor Pro Shop, 240-360-1298.